I don't want to make you, share if you don't want to, but does anyone have anything they want to say about that? Great. So I'm going to take attendance and we're going to do a little bit of a lecture, and then we will do our yoga practice today. So Trayvon is here, not here. I'm actually just going to take a screenshot and yeah, part of your attendance is also staying for the end of class, having your camera on, and yeah, participating. So looks like we're just missing, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it looks like we're just missing one person today. Christian had a question about the journals. So part of your grade is your weekly yoga journal. I put a couple prompts up on our Moodle for you to journal about specific things. I think the first one was for you to read an article and then share about that. I think it's about like inclusion. I'm going to go to our Moodle page and I'll share the screen with you guys, even though I think mine looks a little bit different. So share screen. Okay, so here is our class. We're in block 2. There's your syllabus announcements is where I'll put your Zoom links. So let's see if it's in announcements. So article to read for next week's journal assignment. That's the article. Maybe some of you have already read it. Yoga Union Everyday Enlightenment, the new paradigm for social change. So this is a good word, good article, good word, good article. You had another journal assignment that was explaining the article to read, your gratitude journal. And I get your question, Christian, because you can't really submit your journal entries anywhere. So for this week, I will make an assignment in Moodle where you can submit. And I'm assuming you're writing in a journal in a notebook, but you might be typing it. So if you're writing in a journal, you can take a picture and submit that to Moodle. Or if you're typing it, you could submit it as a document. I'm not like rating these super intensely, like I'm not being really hard on grammar or all of that. I just want you to be putting a little bit of effort and yeah, pretty much just making a little bit of effort. So I know you're kind of sticking with the course and yeah, getting everything done. So throughout this semester, we're going to be doing physical postures, asana, right? It's a physical class. So every time we meet, we'll be doing some meditation, some asana, the yoga postures, and breathing. And today we're going to start talking about the 8 limbs of yoga. So you might think about yoga as like an exercise program. Maybe you've gone to like a hot yoga studio. You might see like pictures of girls in bikinis and handstands on the beach on Instagram, like that is yoga, yes. But yoga also comes from a long lineage of meditation and spirituality. Its roots are in Buddhism and Hinduism. It's from India, right? This practice is thousands of years old. And what yoga is today and what yoga was a long time ago are really different. So our modern view of yoga is a lot more physical and athletic. In the ancient text of yoga, our main kind of book called the Yoga Sutras, they only mention asana, the postures, once or twice. And those postures they're referring to are a seated meditation posture. It's not any of these like crazy arm balances or sun salutations or anything like that. So I think that's important to remember that where we are now and where yoga started are very different, but that's not bad. That's nothing that should be judged, right? Everything changes and develops. You can think of you as a person, who you are now and who you were in 2019 are probably really different. Who you were in middle school and high school, who you were as a freshman at Mars Hill and a senior are all really different, right? We always want to be growing and developing. So that's really important to think about through yoga. So yoga is based on 8 limbs, similar to the Eightfold Path of Buddhism. And the first limb is called Yama. So Yama means social restraint, or kind of practices. And I think we talked about this 2 weeks ago. Did we go over this a little bit? Does anyone remember? Maybe. So the yamas are kind of these guidelines we really want to think about in our practice. So social restraints. And the second yama, or the second 8 limb, is called the niyamas. And the niyamas are our personal restraints or observances. So yama, the first limb, is for everyone, for our society, and the niyamas are our personal observances. So these are ethical guidelines, moral disciplines, guardrails to keep you on the path of enlightenment or spirit or just goodness. They're also similar, if you practice Christianity, to the 10 Commandments. Islam, Muslims have like the 5 pillars of Islam. So I think if we look at the world religions, we can see a lot of these similarities. So the first yama is called ahimsa, which is non-violence, non-harming. So that's why a lot of yogis are vegetarian or vegan. They don't want to harm any animals. There are lots of healthy foods to eat that aren't, animals. So that's one way you can think about ahimsa. You can think about in your language, how you speak. Christian, are you awake? You look a little sleepy. Okay. Yeah. So thinking about how we're showing up in the world, what we're consuming through this lens of nonviolence. And you can really think about your own personal life and the music you listen to, the podcasts you absorb, the TV, the shows, even your like personal language with your friends. Like, is there violence there? Even like talking bad about someone, like gossiping, that's pretty violent, right? It's called character assassination. So this is the first kind of perspective we want to think about on our journey, on our yoga path. And it's really interesting. So these first 2 the first 2 limbs of yoga are all about our behaviors, our moral behaviors. And then the third limb is asana. Asana means the postures. So most people, I think, in our country today, in this modern world, when they do yoga, they don't sit down to try to like improve themselves. They come in through the door of physical activity, of moving, of stretching. Maybe they hear like yoga is really good for back pain, so they want to do some stretching and strengthening. So initially, we would start to do the asana, the movement and the breathing after we kind of mastered the first 2 limbs. So yamas consist of non-violence, truthfulness, non-stealing, brahmacharya, which means right use of sexual energy or countenance. It used to be translated as celibacy, but that's not really something maybe a lot of modern people practice, like householders. And then apigraha, the last yama, is non-hoarding or non-possessiveness. So that's the first limb of yoga. And we'll continue on Thursday to dive into the niyamas, and then the asanas, the postures, and pranayama, which is the breath. And then the last of the 8 limbs of yoga is samadhi, which means enlightenment or absorption or bliss. So, after a really good yoga class, or maybe if you exercise like a really good workout, you might leave and you feel so good and like you're walking on cloud 9, or like you look outside and the trees look really green and the sky looks really blue and everything kind of comes into more clarity and you can see with more attention. So this is kind of the goal of yoga. We want to really be able to show up for our lives and be unbothered by what can be like a dramatic life, so that we don't get too reactive or angry. If we're driving and we turn and someone cuts us off, we don't like freak out and yell and scream and curse, but we can have kind of a balanced, even keeled emotional experience. And for me personally, I started practicing yoga when I was 23. And I'm a deep feeler. I'm a very sensitive person. And I always felt like I had so many emotions like bubbling up, and I would just like let my feelings and emotions get the best of me and just get really upset if someone said anything to me, like even if they didn't mean it. But I'm sure you guys can understand what that's like. We all are humans and have relationships. And the biggest gift yoga has given me is, I don't know, a real true sense of myself. So I don't feel bothered and I don't have to be so reactive and I don't have to kind of go down the journey or path of my feelings and emotions all the time. I can really kind of zoom out and have a perspective. So I think that's really helpful for all humans, but especially people your age. I'm assuming you guys are like 18 to 24, college age, when you're still developing, your brain continues to develop until you're 26. And I think college can be sometimes a really emotional and stressful and challenging time. So having all of these tools and resources for yourself to navigate life is really helpful. So not only, I think this is the biggest point I want you to land and learn this semester, is yoga is not just postures and movement and fancy poses, but yoga is a relationship with yourself. Having a yoga practice, just like any sort of movement practice, like qigong or tai chi, or even like running, something you're really into, can really help with your whole life. So I think if we look at like maybe the top CEOs or the most successful people, I think most people have a regular, really successful, high functioning people have a regular movement practice or fitness plan to kind of channel and release energy and stress. So yoga is not just about exercise. There's a deep well of philosophy behind this practice. And we're going to be doing each week meditation and breathing as well to have resources for you. So now we're going to come to our mat and do some movement. I'm going to try to make it really gentle and accessible. If anyone has any health issues that you want to share with me, or you can email me or type in the chat, or any restrictions. I know some people are coming back from injuries. And if you have any requests for the movement practice, you can also share that. If you want to work on opening your shoulders or strengthening your spine or anything like that, you can also share that with me. And then we're going to come onto our mats. So when you're ready, find your space. Does everyone have a yoga mat? And if you don't, there are mats in chambers. And next week we'll meet in person. So I'll give you that option to either come in person or meet on Zoom. I want to make it easy for you. The other thing that is nice about us meeting on Zoom is that we don't have to wear masks. We have to have masks, obviously, you guys know this, during class, and doing the workout, the physical postures with masks on, especially as most of you are beginners, I think can be challenging. And I also don't like having to tell people to put their masks over their nose often, which seem to be the pattern. So anyway, that is another reason I think we're gonna be doing Zoom classes. And also, just so you know, does everyone know where the breathing room is? Do you guys know about the breathing room? I'll link in our Moodle under announcements about the breathing room. It is a yoga room in a building on campus. I don't know which building because I'm an adjunct professor. Chambers is here and it's up the road and it's up here. That probably isn't very clear. But anyway, there is a yoga room that you can go to called the breathing room. And there are free classes every week that you guys can go to after this semester. So it's good to remember that too. So does anyone have any requests or anything like that for our practice? Okay, so let's start lying down on our back. So come onto your mat and lie down. And Dex, if you can put your video on so I know you're here, that'd be great. So come onto your mat and lie down. And if you can set up your camera in a way that I can see you, that would also be really helpful. So just as we did when we came into the space, let's start where we are. Bring your attention into the physical body. So I know on Zoom as well, it can be challenging to stay present. So if you have anything distracting nearby, see if you can put it to the side. Try to find a space where people might not be walking in and out. And then let's start with placing the hands on the belly and see if you can begin to breathe into your hands. Inhale and exhale. Deep breath in. And a deep breath out. Now, as you breathe into your hands, see if you can really feel your belly rise and fall. So breathe in, let your hands kind of expand away from you. And breathe out, release. So kind of pressing your hands up as you inhale, belly rises, and exhale, belly falls. So the diaphragm is this muscle in our body, right underneath the ribs, kind of by the lungs. And the diaphragm is the muscle responsible mostly for our breathing. So as we breathe in, the diaphragm opens, expands, and as we exhale, it draws back down. So paying attention to the breath here, inhaling and exhaling. Full breath in, full breath out. Inhale deeply. And exhale completely. Now see if you can breathe in and out of your nose with your mouth closed. Keep your connection to your breath. Then bring your feet together at the bottom of the mat. Reach your arms up and overhead. Stretch your arms up and your feet down. Reach your body up and down, top to bottom, stretch. And then bend your knees into your chest. Give yourself a hug. Rock a little side to side here. This is called Apanasana, wind relieving pose. And it might feel nice for your back, for your hips. So really hug your knees in, rock side to side. Pull in, release. Good, now let your knees drop over to the left. Open your arms out wide to a T and gaze to the right. Spinal twist, belly twist. And then come back to center, hugging your knees in, rock side to side, pull in, release. And then let your knees drop over to the right. Open your arms out to a T and gaze to the left, spinal twist. Feel that stretch along the front of your chest and your shoulders, opening up the back. And then slowly come back down, hug your knees in one more time, rock side to side. And then you can grab behind your thighs, maybe rock a little up and down, and then rock up to a seated position. Come to a comfortable cross-legged pose. Good. So shift your seat a little side to side, shift forward and back. And if you're really tight, if you're a bigger body person, it might feel better to stretch your legs straight out if crisscross applesauce does not feel good for you. Place your hands on your knees and start to make some circles with your spine, bringing your chest forward, moving to the side, back and around, gentle spinal rolls here. And in every yoga practice, I really want to get your spine moving in all 6 directions it goes. Good, switch and go the other direction. Circle forward to the side, back and around. So that's forward and back, flexion, extension, twisting side to side, and also side bending. So those are the 6 main directions of the spine. Come back up to center, lifting tall. There's also axial extension, which is length through the spine. So if you imagine someone like pulling you up through the crown of the head, if you're hanging from a pull-up bar, that might be axial extension. Good, so just sit tall here for a moment, pause and breathe and notice your body. And just paying attention with non-judgment, noticing, showing up, breathing, feeling here. Inhale and exhale. So now we'll connect the movement and the breath. So bring your arms down by your sides, tenting onto your fingertips. Inhale as the arms stretch out to the sides and up. Exhale as your arms float out to the sides and down. Inhale, arms stretch out and up. Exhale, arms float out and down. Really nice, you guys. One more. Inhale, arms stretch out and up. Good. Now exhale, twist to the right, spinal twist. Inhale, lift tall. And then exhale, twist, look back. One more breath. Good. Spin to face forward. Lower your right hand down. Stretch your left arm up and over. Side bend to the right. Stretching your side. Reach, reach, reach. Good. And then come back up to center. Hands on your knees around your spine. Chin to chest. Lift up. Arch your spine. Shift forward. Good. Come back up. Now uncross your legs, place your feet down, hands behind you. Sway your knees side to side, back and forth like this. Little swish and sway. Very nice. Good. And then find that cross-legged position once again. This time, see if you can go opposite shin in front. Good. Arms stretch out by your sides. Inhale, stretch them up. And then exhale, easy twist over to the left. Good. Breathe in, lengthen, get tall, reaching through the crown of the head. Good. Breathe out, twist, look back. One more breath here. Good. And then spin to face forward. Left hand down, right arm reaches up and over. Stretch over to the left side, bend. Feel that stretch through your waist, your hip. Breathe. Good. Come back up to center. Place your hands on your knees. Inhale a deep breath. And then exhale, bend your elbows and twist your right shoulder towards your left knee. Good. Lift up. Breathe in. Exhale, twist left shoulder, right knee. Inhale to center. Exhale, twist right to left. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist left to right. Good. Come back up to center. And then one more time with your arms by your side. Stretch your arms out and up. Good. And then see if you can interlace your fingers and flip your palms towards the ceiling. Little bend of your elbows. And then maybe just circle your upper body around a little bit here. Waking up some space in your upper back, your shoulders. Other direction might feel a little awkward. Nice work, you guys. Looks good. Good. And then release your arms. Interlace your fingers behind your back. See if you can squeeze your palms. Lift your chest. Good. And then release. Come to all fours, tabletop position. So spread your fingers wide, press down into your palms. Let your wrists be underneath your shoulders and your knees underneath your hips. Tuck your toes and arch your spine. So lift your hips and lift your gaze, let your belly lower. So this is extension. Point your toes and round your spine, chin to chest, flexion. So folding in. And now back to cow pose. Tuck the toes, belly lowers, gaze up, cow. Good. Point your toes and round your spine, chin to chest. Really spread the shoulders apart on your back. One more. Inhaling for cow, toes tuck, belly lowers, gaze up. Exhale for cat. Point your toes, round your spine, chin in. Come to neutral. Now press your knees, bring your big toes together, let your knees be wide apart, and then draw your hips back to your heels as you stretch forward, child's pose. See if you can let your forehead rest on the mat. And it might feel good here to rock your hips a little side to side. If your forehead touches, maybe you rock your forehead a little temple to temple. Nice, everyone. See if you can really draw your hips back to your heels. Breathe. And just know in this yoga practice that you can rest whenever you need, come down onto the mat, take a break. So this is your time on the mat. This is your practice. So whenever you need to kind of rest, pause, really listen to your body. So do what you can, do what feels right for you. Good. Now, see if you can lift your gaze, come up onto your fingertips, walk your upper body over to the right, stretching down your left side. Lift your gaze, come up to your fingertips, walk yourself center, and then over to the left, stretching down for your right side. Lift your gaze, come to fingertips, walk yourself back centered, and then rise up to tabletop position once again. Nice, strong, flat back. Good. Stretch your right leg back behind you here. And now pull your knee into your chest underneath you. Stretch your right leg back, pull your knee to chest. Good. And do that a couple times. You're just kind of waking up your hip, your leg, your spine as well. Good. Stretch your right leg back, hold it, and then see if you can reach your left arm forward and balance. This is called bird dog. Engage through your core, reach. Good. Put it down, table pose. Rock your hips from side to side, back and forth. Good. Back to center. Stretch your left leg back. Reach it, reach it, reach it. Good. Pull your knee underneath you into your chest. Stretch the leg long, pull it in. Go reach and in. So you're waking up your hip. You're waking up that whole hip joint. One more time, pull it in, extend. Now stretch your left leg back and your right arm forward. Hold, opposite arm and leg reaching. Good, back to table pose, all fours. Move your hips from side to side. Good, now reach your right arm forward, up, back, and around. Make some big circles with your left arm. Good, both directions, up, forward, round. Good, now hold your left arm up and flick your fingers like this. Something big palm, tight fist. Wake up your wrist, your fingers, your hands. Good, back to tabletop position. Stretch your right arm forward, back, and around. Big circles with your arm. Good, waking up your shoulder. Switch directions. Stretch it out, move it around. Good, now hold your arm lifted and just kind of flick your finger, waking up a little bit here. Stretching out your hands and your fingers and shake it out. Good, table pose. So I teach mostly the style of vinyasa yoga, which is kind of more athletic. We're gonna do a little bit of that today, but mostly I wanna keep it kind of calm and grounded. So next I'll ask you to walk out into a modified plank with your knees down, or you can come to plank pose. So you can actually just take a knee for a second, watch me. So in yoga, we push up, and the push-up isn't like a fitness push-up as I call it. It's a tricep push-up, so your elbows are squeezing in. So sit on your heels, bring your arms straight out in front of you, and then hug your elbows into your sides, kind of slide your hands back like this. Good, so stretch your arms forward and then squeeze, hug in. Reach your left arm forward, bring your right arm underneath you, and see if you can squeeze this place underneath your armpits. That's your lat, right? The latissimus dorsi. So you really want to be using your lat. So stretch your left arm forward and see if you can squeeze your arm down and feel that lat muscle. Can you guys feel that? Yeah, sound effects really help too. Think forward and then down. Now try your other arm. Stretch your right arm forward. Left arm can reach kind of underneath you. See if you can feel your lat muscle and then forward, down, and back. Are you guys feeling that? Good. Elbows in by your sides, palms forward. So think the action is squeezing in, chest forward. So come on to hands and knees. Walk your knees back so you're in modified plank. Bring your chest forward. The action is hugging your elbows in. Bring your chest forward and down. Chaturanga push-up, and then press straight back up. So you do that a couple times. Elbows squeeze, and then back up. It's hard if you've never done it before. It's also hard if you've been doing it a long time. Do it maybe one more time. A little squeeze. Good. Then come all the way to your belly. Stretch your legs back. Slide your forearms down in front of you. Sphinx pose. So a little back bend here. Pull your chest forward. Good. And then lower down. Bring your hands down by your ribs. Point your toes. Lift up for cobra. Keep your elbows soft. Good, come back to tabletop position. Spread your fingers wide, press into your palms, tuck your toes, and then lift your hips up and back to downward facing dog. So really spreading your fingers wide. Maybe there's a little bend of your knees, hips are lifting up, chest is pressing back. Maybe you start to straighten your legs and lower your heels. Otherwise, see if you can hold here, maybe gazing back between your toes. Breathe in Exhale. So really engaging your muscles, hugging to bones. One more breath. Good. Now from here, come to your tiptoes and shift forward to a plank position. Good. From here or with your knees down, lower chaturanga, yogi push-up. Come all the way to your belly, stretch your legs back, and then lift up to cobra, little back bend. And then press back to child's pose. Let your palms face up, let your forehead rest. Inhale. Exhale. Breathe in. And breathe all your air out. Rise back to tabletop position. Tuck your toes and lift your hips to downward dog. Walk your feet up to your hands. Come to the top of the mat, forward fold. Let the knees bend, let your upper body hang, maybe you sway a little. Good, then bring your hands to your shins. Look forward and lengthen your spine. Think flat back. And then fold. Stretch your arms as you rise all the way to stand. And then step your feet together and bring your hands to your heart, mountain pose. So I'm gonna just kind of explain a little bit about a yoga class, the way I would plan the physical practice, just some ideas to think about as you're moving. So in each class, we're wanting to move the spine in all 6 directions it goes, warm up the shoulders, move the shoulders and the hips. So the shoulders and the hips are 2 major joints in the body, right? This ball and socket joint. So that will really hopefully leave your body feeling even, stretched, balanced, and more open and more energized for all of our systems to move with fluidity, so without any strain. So we start in a kind of calm, grounded position, and then we start to warm up, and then maybe we get to some more challenging poses. So it's like a bell curve, and then we start to warm down, and class always ends in Shavasana, which is relaxation pose. So I think for you all, especially if you're newer, it's nice to know kind of that behind the curtain, behind the scenes explanation of what the class is and what we're doing. So stand at the top of the mat in mountain pose, feet together, arms relaxed by your sides. Take a deep breath in and let a deep breath out. Inhale, your arms stretch out and up, and then exhale with the bend of your knees, forward fold. We'll do some half salutations. Let your head drop. Inhale, lengthen your spine, look forward, and then exhale, fold in. Stretch your arms out to the sides as you come up to stand, and then press your hands together and lower them to your heart, mountain pose. Inhale, arms stretch up. Good, now bring your right hand to your left wrist and side bend up and over to the right, stretching your side. Good, come back to center, bend your knees, switch your grip, and reach up and over to the other side, maybe chin lifts, breathe. Good, come back to center, bring your elbows to goalpost positions, and then option to take a little bit of a back bend here. Think hips forward, chest forward, lift. Good, and then with the bend of your knees, forward fold, come down, let your head drop. Lengthen your spine as you look forward. Good, fold in. Maybe feeling yourself get a little bit warmer now. Inhale as your arms stretch up. Reach your arms high, and then hands to the heart, mountain pose. So now we'll start to layer and add on in our warm-up exercises, sun salutations. Press your palms, reach your arms up. Exhale, forward fold, hands come down. Lengthen your spine, look forward. Now exhale, plant your hands and step your feet back to plank. You can drop your knees right away, modified plank, chaturanga, yogi push-up, lower down. Upward dog or cobra, find a back bend to downward facing dog, and see if you can hold your down dog for 3 deep breaths. And if downward dog is hard or doesn't feel good for you, stay in tabletop position with your hands and knees down. Deep breath in. Big exhale. One more breath. Good, now come up onto your toes, bend your knees, and walk your feet up to your hands at the top of the mat. Lengthen your spine, look forward, and then fold yourself in. Stretch your arms as you rise up to stand, lift tall, and then hands to the heart, mountain pose. So sun salutations are how we warm the body up in our yoga practice. So just pause here, feel and notice, breathe in, and breathe out. Inhale and exhale. Good, press your palms together, arms stretch up. Exhale, forward fold, come down. Lengthen your spine, halfway lift. Good, now step your left leg to the back of the mat, lower your left knee down, and reach your arms up for a low lunge position, stretch high. Good, bring your hands down to the floor, and then straighten your front leg, shift your hips back. Bend into your front knee as you shift your hips forward. So if you're an athlete and if you're really tight, this might feel really challenging. You can bring your hands up. Keep doing that, rocking forward and back one more time. Good, now hold it back in that half split. Think right heel to left knee, fold, lower down. Good, then bend into your front knee, plant your hands and step your right leg back to downward facing dog. Hold your downward dog or take a flow. Shift forward to plank, lower chaturanga, yogi push-up. Upward dog or cobra pose. Downward facing dog, take it back. Inhale, exhale. Stretch your right leg up and back. And then step your right foot forward. This time, let the back knee be lifted. And see if you can come up and balance in a crescent lunge position. Stretch up. Bring your hands down. And then step your left foot to the top of the mat, forward fold. Nice job, everyone. Keep going. Lengthen your spine, look up. Now step your right leg back. Stretch it long. Lower your right knee down. Ooh, and reach your arms up. Crescent lunge. Low lunge, reach up, feel that stretch here. Now bring your hands down to the mat, straighten your front leg as your hips shift back. Bend as you shift forward. You can also have your hands lifted or on your leg. So just feel that movement. We get really tight in our hips from exercise and also from sitting and living a more like stagnant lifestyle. So see if you can really get the hips moving, some fluidity here. Last time, left heel to your right knee, chest to your thigh, fold. Good, then bend into your front knee, plant your hands. Step your left leg back to downward dog. Breathe in. Exhale. Shift forward to plank pose. From here, or with your knees down, yogi push-up. Upward dog or cobra, downward facing dog. Stretch your left leg up and back. Step your left foot forward. Back heel lifts, reach high, crescent lunge. Good, lower your hands down and then step your right foot forward, top of the mat to fold in. Good, lengthen your spine, look forward. Again, fold. Walk your feet together. Stretch your arms, come all the way to stand. And then hands to the heart, mountain pose. Breathe in. Breathe out. Bend your knees. Sit your seat down and stretch your arms up. This is called chair pose, Utkatasana. Maybe lift up. Good, reach up through your arms, squeeze your legs together. Good, now can you hold that and then lift your heels and hover up onto your tippy toes. It might be a little shaky there, good. Now see if you can straighten, your legs. Keep your heels lifted, find your balance, reach. Good, and then heels down, hands to the heart, mountain pose. Breathe in. Exhale. Take the time to pause and notice how you feel. Breathing in, breathing out. So now we move through our warm-up exercises in a regular kind of public vinyasa yoga class. You might do 3 or 5 rounds of sun salutations. Now we're going to move into our standing postures. So at the top of the mat, step your left leg back and turn to the side of the mat. So have your right foot to face forward, left foot to face the side. Stretch your arms out. reach up, and then stretch forward as you come down. This is called triangle pose. Right hand can be on your thigh, your knee, maybe your shin or your ankle. Length through your side, maybe reach up, maybe look up. Good, slowly rise up, reverse your triangle. Good, come back up, take a little bend of your front knee, turn your right toes to face the side of the mat. Now we'll switch sides, bring your left toes to face the back of the mat, reach your arms out, and maybe you feel a stretch in your hips a little bit here. So this is like an open hip position. Good, reach forward, 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 and then come down. Left hand on your shin, your ankle, maybe your foot, reach up. Feel the length through your side, and you might even see where in your body it's making kind of a shape like a triangle, right? Good, rise back up, nice and slow with control. Take a little bend of your left knee and turn to the side of the mat. Good, step yourself forward to the top of the mat, bring your hands to your heart. Breathe in, breathe out. Balance on your right leg, lift your left leg up. See if you can hold here, this is called stork pose. Balance is challenging, this might feel like a lot. Hold. Now see if from there you can sweep your leg back and put it down at the back of the mat, crescent lunge, reach. Shoulders down, strong legs. Good, now we'll twist, bring your left elbow outside your right knee, press your palms. You could always drop your back knee down, hands at the heart. You could always also keep the back knee lifted. Good, reach your arms up. And then from here, can you step your left foot at the top of the mat and lower your arms down for mountain pose. Notice maybe the difference between your sides. Inhale, exhale. Balance on your left leg and bend your right knee into your chest. You can bring your arms out to the side. You might feel a little bit weird. See if you can find your balance here. Breathe. This is called stork pose. And then stretch your right leg back all the way to the back of the mat. Press back your heel, reach up through your arms, crescent lunge. Good, hold here, add a twist, go right elbow outside the left knee, palms press. You can always drop your back knee down as well. Open here, you can look over your left shoulder, twist, twist, twist. Twists are a great way to wake up, great to energize your spine. Stretch your arms up, crescent. Good, step to the back, top of the mat, mountain pose. Breathe in, breathe out. Lower your arms, pick up your right leg and just kind of swing your leg. You can let your arms swing too and kind of shake it out, dangle. Maybe you kind of give your foot and ankle a little wiggle, shake out your leg, let it swing a little. And then lower your right leg, lift up your left leg, swing it, let your arms kind of swing and sway. You can swing your leg on a diagonal, maybe shake it out, shake it out. And then come to mountain pose. Lift up onto your heels, or lift your heels, come to your toes and lower. See if you can lift your heels and lower. Again, lift your heels, can you bend your knees a little? Hands can be in front of you or out by your sides. Lower your right heel down and then your left heel. Good, and you can look at yourself in your Zoom camera. Notice if your ankles are buckling to the side so you can keep your feet kind of tracking center. Good, heels lift. Good, now lower your heels, bend your knees, squat down and stand up. Squat and stand. So think like Pilates squat. You don't have to go super far, but see if you can feel a strength in the back of your legs. One more time, squat down, stand, lift your right leg up and circle your ankle. Circle your right ankle. Good, now bend your knee and reach back, grab your heel. Bring the front of that right hip point forward. Stretch the front of the leg. Nice, and then lower it. Balance on the right, lift your left leg up. Circle your ankle. And let your hands be on your hips or help you balance. Good, now bend your left knee, reach back, grab your foot, quad stretch. See if you can feel that opening along the front of your left thigh, your quad. Breathe. Very nice. Balance here in mountain pose. Both feet down. Inhale. Exhale. Bend your knees, squat down. See if you can bring your hands to your heart. Balance on the left leg, lift your right foot up, bring your heel towards your seat. Now see from here, you can lift your leg out to the side and draw it in. So strengthening your adductor muscles up and in. One more time, lift and lower. Good, bring your right leg up and then see if you can stretch it forward to strengthen the front of the hip flexor. Lift that leg, lift it. And put it down. Arms relaxed by your side. Breathe in. And long exhale. Bend your knees, squat down. Hands can be at your heart or like resting wherever. Lift your left heel to your seat. Balance on the right. See if you can bring your left leg up. And bring it in. Open and close. Strengthening your adductor muscles in. Again, lift. Lower, come up, see if you can stretch your left leg forward, reach it high, strengthening the front of the hip flexor, lift it. Beautiful, and then lower down, mountain pose. Breathe in, exhale. We're gonna do a couple more standing postures, some warrior positions, balance poses, and then we'll come down onto the mat for a nice stretch. So standing at the top of the mat, step your left leg to the back of the mat, spinning your back foot in. Turn your hips to face forward, your ribs to face forward, and stretch up through your arms, shoulders down. So this is called Warrior One. You can also bring your hands together and lift up, so it's like a back bend. Good. And then from here, turn to the side of the mat for Warrior Two. Open your arms out wide to a T. Bend your front knee, arms stretch out. Feel an opening along the front of the shoulders and the hips. Maybe gaze forward, breathe. Hold it. Maybe arms lift up a little higher. Nice, now straighten your front leg, spin your right toes to the right. Turn to face the back of the mat for Warrior One on the other side. So left leg is forward. Right foot spins in. Bring your hands to your hips and imagine your hips are squaring forward. Ribs are squaring forward. Arms stretch high. You can do hands together. Reach them up. Maybe back bend or just hold at center. Breathe here. Relax. Settle. Soften. One more breath. Good, now Warrior Two on this side, open to the side of the mat. Good, bend into your front knee, arms stretch open wide. Can you bring your shoulders over your hips? Stretch your arms open, shoulders down the back, maybe gaze forward, breathe, and hold. Nice, and then straighten your front leg. Turn all 10 toes to the left, hands at your heart, hinge and fold, come down. Wide-legged fold. Maybe place your hands down on the mat underneath you. You can walk your hands back. You can also walk your hands around the backs of the heels. So deep fold, breathe. Good, bring your hands underneath your chest, lengthen your spine. Now bend into your left knee. See if you can squat down here. This is called Skandasana. Side lunge. Maybe the left heel lowers, maybe your right toes point up. Breathe. Good, now walk your hands down, switch sides, right knee bends, left leg extends. Drop your right heel. Maybe elbows or forearms come down, hands at the heart. Breathing in, breathing out. One more. Good. Straighten your legs, come back to center. Forward fold between your wide legs. Good. Now lengthen your spine, come up halfway. Bring your hands to your hips and come all the way to stand. Bring your heels in, point your toes out. Slide your hands down your thighs as you lower into a squat called goddess pose. So let your knees kind of track over your toes, so your knees are out wide. Then see if you can lift your arms up and bring your palms to face up. Good, hold it here. Option to do a little bit of a pulse, little pulse, little pulse. Good, straighten your legs, lower your arms, and step to the top of the mat, mountain pose. Breathe in. Exhale. Balance on your left foot, and then bring your right foot into tree pose. That can be the inside of the thigh, the calf, or just lift your right heel to your left heel and keep your toes down. So try not to put your foot towards the left knee joint. Try to go above or below the knee. And as you hold, can you press your foot into your leg and your leg into the foot? Maybe hands together, maybe reach, maybe arms up, maybe look back. Balance. Good. And then hands come together, bring them to your heart. Bring your right leg forward, maybe stretch it out, lower it down, let it swing, shake it out, shake it out. Good, mountain pose. Breathe here, find center. Inhale, exhale. Balance on the right. Bring your left leg up and put your left foot into tree. So that's the thigh, the calf, maybe toes down, go left heel to right, ankle. Really feel that external rotation in the left leg. Hands at the heart. Press your foot into your leg, leg into your foot. Maybe arms stretch up. Maybe you look up, maybe you close your eyes, test your balance. Good, hands come back together. Bring your left leg forward, stretch it out, shake it out. Maybe let your legs swing, let your arms shake. Nice work, everyone. Now we're gonna come to the mat and start to really stretch it out and relax, preparing for relaxation pose at the end. So feet together, arms by your side. Exhale. Inhale, arms stretch up. And then exhale to fold, forward fold. Head drops here. Lengthen your spine, gaze forward. Good, plant your hands. Step your feet back to plank pose. You can lower from here or with your knees down, chaturanga. Upward dog or cobra. Downward facing dog. Take it back. Breathe in. Exhale. Stretch your right leg up and back. Reach it high. Bend your knee. Open up your hip. Circle that leg around a little bit here. Circle. Now stretch your right leg back and halfway down. And step your right foot forward. Lower your back knee down. So you're in a low lunge position. And like we did before, see if you can straighten your front leg and shift back into a half split. Curl your right toes toward your face, and then here you can spin your toes open, point your toes in, really flex and point the foot. Option for a full split, right leg forward, left leg back, come down. Really testing your flexibility, breathe. Good, if you went all the way, come back into your half split, shift forward, bring your hands inside your foot, walk your right foot to the side of the mat or your area. Hands come down, or maybe you can come to your forearms, really getting that nice deep stretch. Maybe feel kind of the attachment of your hamstrings into your glutes. You could also kind of circle around, move and feel. Option to twist your right hand inside the thigh, look over, look open. Good, now from here, straighten through your arms. Walk your right foot over to the left side of the mat for pigeon pose. So bring your right foot in front of your left hip and stretch your left leg back behind you. You can tuck your left toes, reach it back, walk your hands in and lift your chest up. Good, and then come down to your elbows or your forearms. Maybe let your head drop, breathe. So this is a really nice stretch for the psoas muscle, this big muscle that comes kind of along the front of the hip, goes up and over, around, and attaches at T12 on your back. So it's responsible for flexion, extending the left leg, if we're on the left psoas. Relax your head, breathe deep, relax your neck and your face. And now walk your hands in and lift your chest up. Spin to the right hip and open to the side of the mat. Stretch your legs out wide into a V. Good. Sitting tall here. You can bring your hands behind you, move some meat from your seat, shift side to side, lift up. Good. Now reach your arms open out wide, turn towards the left, kind of twist, and come center, twist to the right. Come center, twist to the left. See if you can bow down. Right pinky finger outside the left pinky toe. Good. Reach, center, left pinky finger outside the right pinky toe. Good. Reach up, lift center. Good. Now walk your hands down in front of you, forward fold. Nice deep stretch here in your inner groin, maybe outer hip. Stretch your arms forward, maybe forehead comes down. Breathe into some space here. If you're tighter, you might be high up, and that's okay. Remember, you're not going to look the same way I look or anyone else in the class because your body is uniquely yours. Slowly walk your hands in to lift your chest up. Pause at the top. Breathe in. And exhale. Bring your hands underneath your knees. Bring your legs together. Turn to face the top of the mat. Hands come down behind you. Press into your feet. Lift your hips and chest. Good. Lower down. Cross at your ankles. Roll over your knees. Come to tabletop position. Or you can just spin your legs around to one side. Find table pose. Let's take a cat-cow here to neutralize the spine. Arch, tuck your toes, belly lowers, gaze up. And then round, point your toes, chin in. Come to neutral, spread your fingers wide, tuck your toes, and lift your hips to downward facing dog, press back. Breathe in. Exhale. Stretch your left leg up and back. Bend your knee, open up your hip. Maybe you circle your ankle, maybe you circle your leg, give it a kick, kick, wiggle, wiggle. Good, now step your left foot forward. You can always bring your hand onto the leg to guide it forward, and then drop your back knee down. So you're in a low lunge, stretching your hips here. Shift your hips back, and then shift your hips forward. So bend your front knee, and then straighten. One more time. Good. Now hold it back in that half split. So think left heel to right knee, chest over your thighs. Maybe you bow down. Also twist here. So really feeling that stretch behind your leg. Breathe. Good. Slide into a full split option if you want. Left leg forward, right leg back. Maybe you bow over your front leg. Breathe. Notice and feel. Good. Come back to your half split if you want, all the way in. And then bend into your front knee, shift it forward. Walk your left foot to the left. And then bring your hands down. Low lunge, lizard lunge. Arms can be straight, hands down. Maybe come to your elbows or your forearms. You could also move around a little. You could press your left hand inside the left leg, kind of twist open. So the kind of stagnant, tight energy our hips get into, see if you can create some water element, some fluidity, some movement here in the low body. Breathe in. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more breath. Good. Now straighten your arms and walk your left foot over to the right side of the mat for pigeon pose. So you can bring your left foot kind of in front of your right hip, tuck your right toes as you scoot your right leg back. Hands walk in, chest is lifting, and then come down to your elbows or forearms. Maybe let your head rest. Relax the neck, the shoulders, the belly, feeling into your hips here, softening. See if you can really connect to the lungs, the breathing muscles in your torso, letting your breath feel really deep. Long, slow, and deep. Take your final breath here. And then hands walking, chest is lifting, stretch tall. Roll to your left hip and swing around to the side of the mat. Again, wide-legged position. Find a comfortable seat, you can shift forward and back, lift tall. Good. Now inhale, arms stretch up. Exhale, twist to the right and forward fold over your right leg. Maybe bow your nose towards your knee, fold in. And then slowly reach back up, lower your right arm down, stretch your left arm up and over for a side body stretch here, reach. Really feel that length down through your waist, your ribs, down to the outer hip. Beautiful, and then come back up. Turn towards your left leg, kind of orient yourself over to the left, and then pour yourself over the left leg. Bow down, chest over your thigh, maybe nose towards your knee. And then really keep your sitting bones grounded. Stretch your side, breathe. And then turn to face forward, left arm down, right arm up and over. Stretch, reach, lengthen your side, opening here. And when our side body is long and opened, we can feel more connected to the front and the back, all our systems working together. Good, come back up to seated. Pause at the top, shoulders draw up, back and down. Then bring your legs behind your knees. Bring them together. Spin to the top of the mat. Wrap your arms around your legs. Give yourself a little hug, a squeeze, maybe chin to your chest. Good, lift your chest. Reach your arms up. And then see if you can lean back and maybe balance. Lift your legs up. Boat pose, Navasana. Little core strengthener. Maybe come down, low boat. Good, everyone lie on your back, knees into your chest, rock side to side. Stretch your arms and your legs up. Give everything a little shake, shake, wiggle, wiggle. And circle your ankles, circle your wrists. Good, knees in, just rest here, pausing. And then plant your feet down, bend your knees. Let your arms come long by your sides. And then lift your hips up for bridge pose, strengthening your back. Maybe you kind of shimmy your shoulders towards one another. Maybe you interlace your fingers behind you. Press up. Good, slowly lower your spine back down. Walk your feet toward the edges of the mat. Drop your knees in towards one another. Walk your feet in. Hug your knees to your chest. Rock up and down. Up and down. And then rock up into a seated position. So the two kind of classic seated positions for meditation are Sukhasana, like this, that's called easy pose, or Virasana, hero's pose. You can sit between your feet or on your heels. Now, if this isn't comfortable, you can sit up on a pillow, have a blanket. So in a yoga studio, we might have props like pillows. They're called bolsters and blankets to lift up. So if you also feel more comfortable sitting in a chair, you can do that. So before we come into our final rest pose, we're gonna do a little breathing and meditation. So sitting nice and tall, take a full breath in and let a deep breath out. We're gonna do a pranayama exercise called breath of fire. It goes like this. So you're doing sharp exhales out of your nose, pumping your belly. So it's a sharp pull in like this. Exhale, exhale. The exhale is forceful and the inhale happens on its own. In yoga, this is called skull shining breath. So when you do this a lot, it almost looks, this is what yogis say, like there's a halo, a golden halo, a skull around your head. So it helps to cleanse and clarify, wake up, energize. So sitting tall, hands on your knees. Take a deep breath in. Let a deep breath out. Inhale halfway, and now begin. Exhale, exhale, keep going. Pumping your belly, forceful exhale, pull in, exhale, exhale. Sitting tall, posture is long, reaching up and grounding down, keep going. Five, four, three, two, one, exhale. Inhale, a deep breath. And then hold. Exhale. And hold. Inhale, a deep breath. Hold it. Exhale, deep breath. Let it go. We're going to do one more round of Kapalabhati, breath of fire. Full breath in. Exhale, let it go. Inhale halfway and begin. Exhale, exhale, pumping your belly, pulling in and up. Sharp exhales out of the nose. The mouth stays closed. Keep going, keep going. Five, four, three, two, one. Exhale, release. Inhale, a deep breath. Hold it. Exhale, release, and let it go. Now, as you sit here nice and tall, see if you can release any effort of the breath and focus on the quality of your thoughts, your mind. What is going on in your mind? And see if you can start to really just observe, notice, and feel. Sitting tall, lifting up. You can have your hands on your lap, palms up, maybe first finger and thumb together. This is called a mudra. But see if you can lift up tall. Let your eyes close. And start to really pay attention and listen to the sounds inside and around you. Notice if there's resistance. And see if you can really be here in your body with your breath. So meditation, focus, concentration, clarity, and presence. See if you can resist the urge to fidget and move and allow yourself to sit with yourself. Notice if when it gets quiet and calm, there is a block or a resistance. See if you can once again let yourself really be here. Just a couple more breaths. Just noticing the thoughts in the mind as they come and go. And see if you can just pay attention to the breath, not get too reactive or attached to any thoughts. The breath is long, slow, and deep. Now, as you're ready, come to lie down on your back for a final relaxation pose, Shavasana. So if you're in your room, it might feel nice to get a blanket and place it over your body, or you can get a piece of clothing and place it over your eyes. So when we're setting up for relaxation, we want to cultivate the qualities of quiet, of warmth, of darkness, of like not being distracted. So come to lie down on your back and get really comfortable. A blanket on top of you, maybe a pillow behind your head or underneath your knees, and rest. So in every, or most, a good at least yoga practice, there'll be time for rest at the end, which is called relaxation pose, Shavasana. And you might notice that you might fall asleep. That's totally okay. Most people are really kind of exhausted and overly tired. So taking this time to really just settle into the space, to relax your body, to deeply rest. So take a deep breath in through the nose and let a big sigh out through the mouth. Take a deep breath in and let a deep breath out. Breathing in, breathing out. Your attention inside your body, feeling and noticing. And just pay attention to the emotional body here, the mental body, all of the sensations, and allow there to be space, rest, relaxation. Now we'll start a body scan meditation. And as I mention, each part of the body, you don't have to do anything or effort. You can just let your body completely rest, feel, and relax. So bring your attention to the place between your eyebrows, the third eye, and let it relax. The center of the throat. The center of your chest, softening. Right shoulder. Right arm. Resting and relaxing. Feel your right wrist, your hand, each finger on the right side. Let your whole right arm completely relax. Come back up to the right shoulder. Feel the center of the throat. And then feel the left shoulder, the left elbow, the left wrist, left hand, and each finger. Left arm is completely relaxed, moving back up to the wrist, the elbow, and the shoulder. Feel into the center of the throat, the heart center, and the low belly. Feel into the pelvic bowl, the hips, relaxing down the right thigh, knee, right shin, right ankle, right foot, each toe. Totally relaxed, completely at ease. Move back up the right leg. Feel the low belly. Left hip softening, left thigh. Left knee, left shin, left ankle, totally relaxed. The sole of the foot, each toe. Left leg is completely relaxed. Feel back into the left hip, right hip, low belly. Right ribs, left ribs, center of the chest. Throat center relaxing, and all the muscles of the face. Crown of the head. Whole body. Take a full deep breath in, and one more big cleansing sigh out, release. Body is relaxed, soft, completely let go. Shavasana, deep rest. Let yourself lie here, totally relaxed, nothing to do and nowhere to go. Just here with your body. Take a few more deep breaths here. Just noticing and feeling what this experience of yoga has been like today for you. Physical, mental, emotional. How do you feel? What's going on? And right now, really paying attention to how you feel now as opposed to how you felt when we first began, this kind of before and after picture. Notice the effectiveness of the yoga. If you feel more relaxed, calm, present, clear, focused, hopefully all of those things. And now as you're ready, gently begin to wiggle the fingers and the toes, rotate your ankles and wrists, turn your head from side to side. And then stretch your arms up and your feet down. Reach your body up and down, top to bottom. Really stretch. And then bend your knees into your chest. Give yourself a squeeze. You can rock a little side to side. Rock forward and back. Circle around. And then rock your way up into a seated position. Come into a comfortable cross-legged pose, sitting up. Lengthen your spine. Get nice and tall. Pause and notice and feel. And then bring your hands together in front of your heart in Anjali Mudra. So this is how we usually close and open our practice. Hands at the heart, and just pausing and taking a moment of gratitude for the body this morning, for this practice, for your breath, for your health, all the things you have to be grateful for right now in your life, your friends and your family, your education, any pets, for nature, for food, for technology, for all of the big and the little things that you have to be grateful for right now. Just pause and notice, appreciate, breathe in and exhale. And we close the practice with a word that in India just means hello, but in America, we've made it into a word that means a lot of things, including that the light and the dark and the love and the hate in me sees and acknowledges all of those things in you. And that when we come together, we realize that we are more similar than we are different, and we are all one. So that just means namaste, and you can kind of bow and say namaste. And that's your class for today. So thanks everyone, great job. Thanks for being here and showing up and doing the practice, having your camera on. I'll see you on Thursday at 8:30. And I'll just stay on in case anyone has any other questions or wants to talk about anything. Hope you have a great rest of your day.
I have one more question. So you're gonna ask for every journal that we've done. So we got 2 journals, right? We have 2 journals.
Mhm.
Okay, I was just making sure. And when will they be posted on Moodle? Like, so I can turn it in.
So if you've already done them, that's great. I'll probably do every Thursday of the week. So
Okay.
actually, no, I'll probably be due Sunday. So you'll have your journal from this week, which will be, the 6th and the 8th is when we had class. And then I'll have you turn that in on the 11th.
Okay.
I'll make an assignment on Moodle where you can submit that. So hopefully it won't be confusing at all.
Okay.
I also got another question.
Yeah.
Could you go over the 8 limbs again? And could you spell them out for me? Like the yamas and the niyamas and stuff like that.
Absolutely. Do you have the book by any chance?
You said what again?
You have the textbook?
Do I have the textbook? I think so. I should.
Okay. So it's in the textbook, the 8 limbs, the spelling, and the definition. Mm-hmm. And I can also write, I have documents where I'll post on Moodle in the announcements or assignments so that you can see that clearly. So you don't have to feel like you have to take notes or whatever.
Okay. Well, I'll do that instead. What I say. Thank you, though.
Yeah, you're welcome.
So that's everything that I had though so far.
Sweet.
Professor Moore, I had a quick question.
Yep.
It's about if we have class in person next week, will there be an option to still be over Zoom?
Yes.
Yeah? Okay, cool.
Do you want to stay on Zoom?
Yeah, I mean, it's just because I'm probably going to go home later this week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. And I'm all for COVID safety and precautions. And I don't want to ever make anyone feel uncomfortable, have to be in a group. Obviously, things are getting better right now, but yeah, you can always do on Zoom for sure. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Have a great day.